I'm live. Y'all know what it is. The topic of discussion is, was you seen in a dream? Because I saw you. Now, I don't know you per se. Like I don't know you one on one like. You know what I'm saying? But somebody do. Now, I imagine I was in my dream tens and twenties and 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s, because, that's all I dream about right now. You know what I'm talking about? Hundreds come later. The tens and 20s, 50s and 40s and 60s. Run it up, run it up, run it up, and all that up. You know what I'm saying? CA me at PEKA69. It's I'm from the Bay. I'm from the Bay. You ever just be in a dream, right? And you just be like, I think that's me, but I'm not sure. You know, I kind of remember, kind of, sort of, like, you know, an instance that kind of remind me that may be me. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not quite certain. You know? So me and my cousin, right? We in the cars at tens and twenties, twenties and forties, sixties and eighties, right? And all of a sudden, I look to my left, and cousin look around me, and somebody in the back seat saying, "This is my confessions. Guess I'm gonna get part two of my confessions." You ever just wonder if someone on one? Like, like, you ever just thought they don't do what you do? You know what I'm talking about? You just be like, I think I might know. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. Let me add it up. Yeah, 2 plus 2, 2 plus 2. I think I seen something like that before, but I ain't never did nothing like that before, so I don't know. You know what I'm saying? The circumstances and the variables to all of that there. You know what I'm talking about? You ever just be in a dream and the mic drop and you like, what? I don't want to go. I want to go into details, but you know what I'm saying? I definitely do, because I'm already aware that it was several individuals whom all are angels. They don't know they angels. Some are speculating, and you know what I'm saying? Because they was like, wait a minute, everybody got caught off guard. You know what I'm saying? Tens and twenties, twenties and forties, fifties and sixties. Is this legit? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Wait a minute. You know what I'm saying? You ever just get outed in a dream? You know what I'm saying? Let me tell you, the mystical thing about individuals that have separated their presence from their astral body, right? They do weird stuff. Now, of course, they be up all night. You know what I'm saying? All night. They pulling all nighters. You know what I'm saying? Especially on Friday, all nighters. Somebody said, I'm about to leave the car because it's Saturday. It go down on Saturday. First of all, I'm going to say, sir, you know what I'm saying? She ain't coming back. So you might as well just pack it up and check out. You know what I'm saying? The easy way. You know what I'm saying? Don't be caught up, like 12, 1 o'clock, sitting there talking ish and thinking she coming back. Because she halfway to another state. She cut up out of here like at 8:30. You know what I'm saying? You waiting for nothing. You know what I'm talking about? Absolutely nothing. My dreams is important. He say he got a bottom-ish. You know what I'm saying? But she not from the bottoms. Y'all know what I'm talking about? Ooh, where she at? He don't know. So just, just get up all that paraphernalia and tear up out of here. Cause she ain't coming back. You know what I'm talking about? Y'all, you ever just have somebody propose something in a dream and you just like, wait a minute, I know I'm dreaming. You know what I'm saying? They just be telling on themselves, right? This one, what they call it, they functional. They're a functional one. They still could work right now. You know what I'm talking about? But when them 10s and 20s and 20s and 40s start slipping in your purse, bank teller, then you on a different side of the game. You know what I'm talking about? Nobody told them. You know what I'm saying? This is a good thing, because everybody in my era, in 45 and up, you know what I'm saying? We already know where this is going. They popularized stuff like 10 toes down, you know what I'm saying? Bottom beezy. They popularized, you know what I'm saying? They don't know what it's about though, you know what I'm saying? They want to be, they want to ride to the wheels. I used to say, I'm a rider till the raggedy wheel fall off, the fifth wheel. You know what I'm saying? I'm on here. I'm stuck on the truck. You know what I'm talking about? Not no more. That fifth wheel gone. I am not a rider, but she may be in the trunk. You know what I'm talking about? Now, I thought I told y'all yesterday when that alarm went off. You know what I'm saying? It's something alarming, Alarm's been going off. I'm smelling smoke everywhere I went, you know what I'm saying? She said, we need to just try it and see if it's legit. Mic drop. What? I'm perplexed. Who baby mamas? All y'all. Because they don't know. They didn't get the memo. You know what I'm talking about? Put that in a bar. They don't know. They didn't get the memo. Who can say that and make it sound right? How about E40 Fonzarelli? You know what I'm saying? I'm from the Bay. I'm from the Bay. you know, I would say, if somebody were to reach out to me, I already talked about it. They didn't out themselves. You know what I'm saying? When that mouth get the, because it's a combo. You know what I'm saying? It's a hot shot. You know what I'm saying? The mouth get the cricking to the side, and to the left side, and the right eye go to the right side. You're gonna say that's a combo right there. That's a 2-piece, a biscuit, and some fries. You know what I'm talking about? That's what I'm talking about. That's a combo right there. What happened? She went to sleep. Yep, she went to sleep. You know what I'm saying? And listen, y'all gonna mess around. Let me tell you something. When y'all be saying people's names spiritually, you don't know who they know, right? You mess around and get me and one of my cousins in the dream, you might not make it out. I'm just telling you. because we getting sharper with it. You know what I'm saying? We know it's us. You know what I'm saying? But we don't know if we in our bodies or not. But then when you say stuff like let's try it and see if it's legit. You know what I'm saying? Then what the? That's not us. It's not us. This me. That's not me. Is that you? No, that's not me. They didn't get the memo. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm saying? Why y'all, you know what I'm saying? Y'all in the promethazine and all that stuff. Yeah, I was trying to figure it out, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, let me tell y'all something. Some of us, we break generational seeds, right? Put a earth after that, right? And we don't know. Like for instance, I got one cousin, when we used to drink, this was like about 15 years ago. All my cousins, matter of fact, that's my age. Look, we used to drink. You know what I'm saying? We drank so much, we lightweight had alcohol, boy, put away the next morning. That's how much. But I got a cousin, woo, she, not he. When you'd be sitting there, I think I'm alive. And she'd be like, you ready to go back to the stove? Listen, we didn't know. We didn't know that our system was developed in a way where we could intake a lot. You know what I'm saying? A lot of a call with an alcohol in front of you know what I'm saying? We didn't know. You know what I'm saying? And I started thinking, right? What if your offspring, not mine per se, but this is just a what if moment, right? What if your offspring have to experience something that you didn't experience, right? Like growing up, I don't ever remember being really ill, like like a little common cold, which is different for us, right? Those of us that are angels, a common cold, that's ascension for us. That means we becoming immune to something. But stuff like pneumonia, and you know what I'm saying, I don't ever remember it, and I don't remember my children going through it, right? And so it's like I was thinking, like, what if you have to experience something so the future will be immune to it? For those of y'all that know that you don't take meds, you don't like meds, you know what I'm saying, stuff like cough syrup and stuff. If you don't like that, what if it has to be developed in your system, even if it's by your offspring, so there'll be an immunity to it later? Now, this is the type of stuff that I would like to ask the angels, but because I'm so important, my truth is what is real. Now, for them, it'll be something else. When I ask them what, because this, I'm ether, you know what I'm saying? Did y'all do stuff like, you know what I'm saying? They had the hard stuff that'll lay us out. You know what I'm saying? So it's not, for those of you that feel like angels are this way and they don't do this and they don't do that, you are wrong. Because if you were like that, you wouldn't even be in a body. There are some that are like that and they're not saints. So stop pushing that rhetoric. Oh, here we go. Hasatase. Ooh, what she got? She got some that's not fix a flat. That's some fat transfer right there. They did a good job. There you go. There you go. She is red tag. You know what I'm talking about? She red tag. She is red tag. Y'all not where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? That's for sure. She red tag. She didn't even turn around. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no reckless eyeballing happening over here. You know what I'm saying? She got some fat transfer. You know what I'm saying? She is smart. Cause I ain't seen no Udi like that on one of them. You know what I'm talking about? She, you know what come, the night after, the morning. Yeah, the walk of shame. You know what I'm saying? You are absolutely. Keep it stepping. See, that's one of them HE double L razors. You know, they get to reminiscing. I remember when. I think I remember. Yeah, if I ask them, they gonna act like they ain't ever done anything. You know what I'm saying? But that was one of them. Y'all heard her? You absolutely keep it stepping. The big G knows our thoughts. Yo, here we go. We shifted. One of y'all finna make me mad. Okay? I already know. You know, one of y'all finna. Yeah, she had on some money green. You know what I'm talking about? She had on money green. Oh, she gonna stroll right back where she came from. You know what I'm talking about? Y'all know this? You know what I'm saying? You know, this is right on point with what I was finna talk about. You know what I'm saying? You know, somebody is on a world tour. They said, F it. You know, they ain't got nothing. You know what I'm saying? We might as well. You know what I'm saying? He not going. She going. You know? And then when she get far enough away, she gonna drop him like a hot pocket. Cause he not one of them. You know? You ever just realize somebody is saying that they something that they not, and you know, all of a sudden they done got about 10 racks and now they feel like they the man? It's that, you know, she needed company. You know? The man is where she going, so she gonna have to drop you, you know, like a hot potato in between. You know what I'm saying? He over there, you getting left right here. You know what I'm saying? You getting left in the middle. Cause she picked you up in the middle. You know, they call it a choosing fee. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm gonna give you this. You know, I choose you. You didn't choose me. You know what I'm saying? Here you go. Make you feel good. I got a car. You ain't got to worry about it. Just ever tell everybody it's yours. I just need somebody to ride with me. You know what I'm talking about? She picked him up in the middle. He getting dropped off in the middle. That's the way it is. You know what I'm talking about? What's her name? Bunny? Ain't all of them named Bunny? What's your Bunny? What's your real name? Snow Bunny. That is it. You ever just see somebody at work and you just look and you say, your hair is oily. You must have partied last night. You know what I'm saying? You know, when you got that hue in your skin, you can't tell that you well, sometimes, you know, that's after you done been in it for a minute. You know what I'm saying? You done been up 3 days and you done lost 60 pounds. But, you know, these ones are functional, you know? They already got, you know, promising careers and, you know, they got one foot in because they knew somebody, you know, they're part of a circle. You can't do it, they can, but since they, you know, afforded a different type of energy. What ends up happening is they go on the night before. They ain't got to worry about no drops all of a sudden, because that don't happen to them. You go up there and you say, I would like to deposit, and then you notice their hair is stringy. And then you say, I don't ask questions. No, because I have to formulate the truth. And I can tell, well, don't y'all wash your hair every day? Like, or every 2 days? Let me tell y'all something. They know how to pass the strand test. Y'all didn't know that. And, if you got that hue in your skin, let me tell y'all something. You went into work Friday and your hair was so oily, the cashier next to you, the teller, said, she smells like oil. He said, you smell like paint. Ooh-wee. Did you say oil and paint? Yeah. Huff. Maybe. You ever just, go outside and you like, what is that smell? It smells like smoke and paint. Y'all don't know what's going on behind the scenes as of late. Y'all only know, what got them to this point, because I'm releasing it. But you don't know what's happening currently. Listen, I got a pull that I have not released from 3 months ago. All right, that's how I do. I have not released it because it was not the time. I'm from the Bay. I'm from the Bay. But since, these ones, they it's a group that they want to sleep with, like literally sleep with angels. Like they want to fall asleep. And then they want to be intimate with angels spiritually. They want to do all kind of stuff with angels. Now, since they're in a frequency where they understand that angels are real, that they're in the body, that they talk, that they are men, that they are women. You know what I'm saying? Of course, we have adolescents, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about what they want to do to the ones they feel are prominent figures in history. Y'all got to understand. Beings like Satan, Lucifer, Baal, Thanos, serpents, all of them, they're very important. You may not know of them, but certain people in certain places know of them because they tried to bite them. When it was their era, these were the females and some males, because these males asked to be born female specifically to try to divert from karma. You ever hear someone say, I know I'm a female inside. I know I'm a male inside. That has a lot to do with it. So there's no secret. I've already said that I believe in that. I believe that there are, hey mama, oh, she ain't got them shoes on because she might slip and fall. You know what I'm saying? She got one of them coats on, y'all. So the uday can stick out. Listen. These ones, there are originals, and then there are originals for different places. Like there's an original group of angels who which did not start off as angels. They were just beings, different types. For instance, like seraphim. Seraphim were beings. They still are. But seraphims were born seraphim. Like I was born a cherub, or you could refer to as a cherubim. I was born a cherub. They were born seraphim. When they ascended, they became archangel seraphims. You understand? So they were the original for me, for my era, but not for the first ones. Y'all will refer to these ones as Najers, not the Netherus, Najers. That's a certain type of angelic presence, which there's a reading that I'm working on that's going to highlight that. There's several. The one that's talking about what's taking place with someone that is facing judgment is a more reading, and that is coming out. That's the one that I pulled on 3 months ago because it's time. You know, in certain places when I go live, these ones come in. It's dwindling. All right. After one group realized that they were speaking with energy, not spirits, not entities, that's something else. They were speaking with individuals in limbo. That's the closest I could, you know. They were either waiting to go into a body, like to be reincarnated, incarnated, or no more. After they realized that, let me tell you something. It's a fraction that not the ones that have separated their presence, but there's a fraction of them that believe they could go into someone else's body. The ones that they're talking to. This is why I said y'all don't know what y'all talking to. Now, if someone were to encounter my readings, right, and they like, okay, for, you know, regardless of what their opinion is, they may be like, okay, well, we believe her, but we haven't experienced that. If you encounter my readings, but you haven't experienced it, someone in your environment is going through it. I'm telling you right now, because you entered into a conscious gate, spiritually and physically. It has to be a combination. So that means you've been exposed to conscious content and you went in there spiritually. Your being did. So that means you have access to different information. This is the time where you start looking up stuff. Take a photo, because when you start moving, that's evidence for yourself, not for me, because I already know. Information is going to start changing. The phenomenon known as leap year is not like everyone thinks. Certain things are like they are, like for instance, certain holidays. They'll say the first Sunday or something like that. That's an indication that somewhere along the lines, someone knew that the system changed. Y'all get what I'm talking about? Just like the cusp. Certain cuspers, the dates will change. Like they'll say from the 19th to the 21st. And then you go somewhere else and it'll say from the 18th to the 23rd or something like that. That is an indication that you entered into a different system. Some may say it has something to do with leap year, but that, 365 days and then it's 366. Or is it? Because around Halloween, okay, around that time, it's questionable. Because growing up, I remember a different date for some of these holidays, and some others do as well. Mother's Day is another phenomenon. It'll be some people that'll say Mother's Day is on one day, Mother's Day is on a different day. And this is the reason why we say that certain holidays, they'll say the first Sunday, the last Sunday, the second Sunday. You know what I'm saying? Because if somebody were to come to you and say, I was born on Mother's Day, they're not aware that Mother's Day changes. They think everywhere, everywhere. I was born on Mother's Day, blah, 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 blah. You know how many people was born on Mother's Day? So many, because it changes. That's just a for instance. It, it, let me say something about guilt. Guilt will weigh you down before you ascend, because it'll have you doing stuff that you feel makes you guilty. There is so many individuals that have went really heavy on their heart because of the things that they partook in. This is like the story of Raha, and in the Bible. There's so many different prominent figures that were written about that strolled. It's not the era of harlots is no more, but there was a time when people called them harlots. You know, so it's like you get one group that'll denounce something, they'll say it's bad or whatever because of their experience. Now, usually it's because just for instance, I have a father. My father was married to my mother. He left with a stroller, whom happened to be another color. So that's two variables right there. So I don't like strollers, and I don't like this color. That's a for instance. That's how it starts. The same thing with tarot readings. Okay, someone got the drop. Somebody got the cards pulled on him, and they said, no, that's not me. This is not real. Nobody's going to believe it because it was on point. Now, when the other ones came in and started sensationalizing everything, you wanting to dramatize and create narratives when you don't need it. That it's so many readers that done already said you don't have to have a spiritual gift to read. You just have to be able to hold information. That means, you get your chart, you memorize the chart, and whatever comes out, comes out. This is my opinion when someone says they do not falter from the script. They read exactly how it's presented on the chart. That's not the way I do. I'm an intuitive reader. It's a difference. The way I read is a combination of who I am. So that's just that on that. You're not gonna get no shame from me with certain things unless you just grimy. You just grimy, and you do things with adolescence and stuff like that. Then and when I do it, you gonna know it's me, because I'm gonna say my name. I'm gonna be like, yeah, it's me. It's Ether, and not gonna care. That's the thing about being an archangel. When you're an archangel, you cannot, it's a I ain't never scared. I ain't never scared type of energy, because the big G got your back. Now, when you acting like you won, then you get put in a position where, they gonna test your G. You know what I'm saying? They gonna test you to see if you really scary or not. Asakina, we want to see if you say you are Asakina again. He put us on it. A Jacka. And not the artist. Hey, look, y'all. While I'm on it. There's a group that are fascinated with AMG now. You know how old that song is? That's why she remade it. That song is like, what, about a good 30, 35, 40 years? How old is it? It's about 35, 40 years. Music like that was coming out when I was an adolescent. I was in my preteens, like early teens when that came out. And you're like, how's that? Because we are the era. That's what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what y'all doing now. Yeah, there was a interview where Lil Wayne was talking about he had to do something to make sure he didn't say something over again because he's already said everything. You know what I'm saying? When you got just like a plethora of music out, you got to make sure you're not re-uttering the same verse because you didn't said everything. Could you imagine that? You've been in the game so long and you not like decrepit. You're not. You still young, but you done said every. He is still young, in my opinion. I believe he's younger than me. He may be. So he's still young. You done already said, just because he got grown children don't mean nothing. See, some of we was talking about, me and the Angels was talking about this, right? In the industry, this is something that we all notice. In the industry, when women, all of them, when women get a certain age, you don't see them no more or they don't get casted. They may or may not put out a music consistently. They may start going on tour because their facial features have changed, their body has changed, they have evolved. And because they're more business minded usually, when they get an opportunity, they have to leap on it because in the industry, youth sells. Okay? They know that. Everyone that's a part of the industry knows that. That's why it's always an up and coming. It was noticeable in the modeling industry when people started realizing that models were 11 and 12 and you know what I'm saying and they look like grown women. That'll tell you right there. With them, when they get a certain age, their career is over. They don't, it's only a hand few that is going to be booked after a certain age. They either go into their own business, they become an ambassador or something like that. With the men, when y'all start getting older, they start doing stuff like saying, he fat, he got bald spots, he broke. You know what I'm saying? Because the men are still present. They're still present in the industry, but they got to do something to open up the door for the younger ones. But these ones, it's at least about 3 generations in between the next up and coming stars. Now let's bet. Y'all saying they already out? Nope. The ones that's gonna take over the era that I'm from, it's 3 generations. So that means they babies right now, or they ain't even thought about right now. How much y'all want to bet? Because it's gonna take an original sound. The ones that have originality now, they getting shunned because they want to be independent. That's why it's gonna take so much. Why y'all not putting on the ones that y'all know is authentic? The ones that write their own music, because they not finna be up under no faulty contract, and y'all know that. And that's the reason why it's gonna be so much. Let me tell you something. In between that, it's gonna be a confiscation. Something getting confiscated. It's in the making right now. Y'all don't think it. Let me tell y'all something. When y'all get big enough, some of y'all celebrities that are rappers specifically, y'all jump right into the wood, put a holly on top of it. Listen, and then y'all start shaking hands with the descendants of those that did the same thing to people before. It's only gonna be a handful of y'all that make it to a certain status. Because when you get to that status, it's gonna be a crab there pulling you down because they want that spot and they figure they better than you. That's how it go. It's like that with anyone that was a breakthrough. I said it already when when I came on this platform. I set it ablaze. There's no argument about that. My style is totally different. So it's artists out here that right now that did the same thing. When let me tell y'all something. There's always a smiler amongst the crows. There's always a smiler, a jackal, if you want to say. It's always gonna be one. He gonna smile and say everything that he gonna push that same rhetoric that he pushes, that he heard someone else push that got wealthy. And he gonna say, do it this way. That's why everything look the same, sound the same. You ever seen a hood dude get dressed up in a suit that they feel is too tight? And they uncomfortable for the first time, because the second time it's extremely too small. We all know because we looking at it, but you didn't got used to it now. You know what I'm saying? Everybody know, you know what I'm saying? It's too tight. It's extremely too tight. That one was all right. Who you talking about? I'm talking about 50, y'all. Look, I seen like a little. When you know it's authentic when someone get caught off guard, when they're not posing, when they're not completely ready. I seen 50 get out of a car, right? That suit he had on was clean. He looked it good, right? But you can tell he was uncomfortable. That was the rising. You know what I'm saying? He was rising. I seen one like about a month ago. He hopped out. I was like, man, like, come on, man. Get back in the car. Look, first of all, you don't have to wear a suit. But the people hands he's shaking, he feel like it's a requirement. I gotta look the part. You know what I'm saying? They may say you know, some people might say you bending. You know what I'm saying? Not Diddy type of bending. You know what I'm saying? If he share this to 50. You know, not Diddy. Not Diddy type of bending. Oh no, God forbid that, right? Not 50, right? How much you want to bet somebody gonna say 50 bending? Cause like y'all see Diddy, right? Come on now, let's keep it funky. Diddy don't look like he bending nobody. They said the same thing about Cash Money. Why y'all trying to act like y'all didn't? Y'all said the same thing about Cash Money. Come on now, this was like about 3 years ago. Y'all said the same thing about Cash Money. Y'all ever notice how it's prominent figures, the ones that own stuff? Y'all, come, let me tell you something, y'all. 50 Cent is different. You know what I'm saying? Because he's off in a different genre. I told you, when you start shaking them hands and they become a breakthrough, a triple, a threats. You know what I'm saying? You know what else? We know. Didn't I say 50 for president? President of what? We don't know. Was it presidential or was it mayor or something? What? We don't know. Like who hand you shaking, bruh? They want me to go back to the bay. And swing it back to the bay. Yay! Just swing it back to the bay. Please. You know, 50 Cent, somebody put an X on me. He said that a long time ago. He was right, too. Who else y'all think got an X on him? They say Ray J. Why y'all think Ray J got an X on him? I don't know. Is that a sakana? You tippy toe deep in it. Somebody said, in what and where? I said, hey, y'all seen that short? When he said it was runny and he passed gas and it just all came out. That's a real thing. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That's why he know about it. It was I believe Dawa highlighted that in his book. You know what I'm talking about? You know, all the possibilities that could happen to you, you know what I'm saying, when you go down that road. You know what I'm talking about? You know. Y'all heard of them plugs? Put a butt in front. Y'all doing strange and unusual stuff. Yeah, I mean, how can you just be on that level of a leak, put a freak in it? How you on that level of a leak, put a freak in front of it? I said a leak, freak. Why? You just gotta be on one constantly, every day, 24/7, in 99.99999 minutes. That's in case it's a leap year. It was Miss Kim Vanessa said, all these ninjas. She said all of them. Only the ones that got money, though. She want to say that. All of you that got money, you're questionable. Just, if you got money, you're in the industry, you important. Circle. Miss Kemp, if you're nasty, you got a mansion. Estate. It's questionable. Why y'all, you know, since we on Miss Kemp, if you're nasty, listen. Y'all mad because she's capitalizing. I say that as a smart businesswoman. You know, he ain't do right. You know, you spend all them years, you know, trying to please him, you know. You know. Then all of a sudden, he blow up. You know, what's wrong with that? Somebody say, is you mad? Is you mad? Because ain't nobody doing it to you? Y'all, all this is tied into a dream. Listen. And not Martin Luther's. Free at last, free at last. Whose dream you gonna be in tonight? I heard someone say, listen. Someone said, I'm Trick Daddy. And then the other dude said, he ugly though. And then someone else said, I know I'm ugly. And then somebody said, I don't think Trick Daddy ugly. No cap. Y'all know, I don't bit much tell no stories, you know what I'm saying? Unless it's all about y'all. That's it. That is it.